What up YouTube, it's Mac. I'm back again with another video. Topic of today's video is how to get a raise. If you guys have seen my videos before, thank you for coming back. Thank you for checking this channel out. And if you guys are new, this is where we talk about self-mastery, self-improvement, and just how to make our life a better experience overall. I'll be sharing any tips and tricks that I picked up on my journey, and hopefully, it is useful to you guys as well. This question actually came from one of my friends. His name is Evan. Shout out to Evan for asking me this question in my Instagram DMs. I answered him with a couple of tips and tricks that I've learned throughout the years, and I thought I'd make a video about it. I've been in the workforce for 3 years or so, and in that time I've negotiated a couple raises, and I've learned a couple things throughout that process, and I want to share those with you in case you're early on in your career, or perhaps you're about to negotiate a raise again and you just haven't thought about these particular tips and tricks. If there's anything that I missed in this video, please comment down below, because we're all about everybody in this channel just improving in general, and that includes me. I'm always open to suggestions, so please put any more tips and tricks down in the comment section below, because that will help us all out. All right, so let's get to it. The first thing that you need to keep in mind when you go into these negotiations is you need to know what your skill set is worth in the marketplace. This loosely translates to how much is the average salary for your position in the marketplace. There's a couple different tools that you can use to figure this out. LinkedIn Insights is a great tool, and Glassdoor is another website. All you gotta do is just go on one of these tools, search for the position that you are currently working, and see what the average salary is for that. These salaries can range from city to city. You can figure out what it is for your particular city. Nowadays, actually, with remote work being more and more accepted and being more and more of a thing, you might even want to just get an average for the country, because that's where somebody else of your skill set might be coming from for the company. The reason you want to know this value is because this is essentially what your employer is going to have to pay somebody else if you were to leave the company. Now, I'm not saying you should threaten to leave the company. That's not what we're doing here, but you want to know what you're worth to the employer. It's in the employer's interest for you to not know this value, because the value of the work that you actually bring to the table, or the value that you add to the company, minus how much they're paying you, that extra little bit of value there is how much they're essentially gaining from the current situation or the relationship that you two have. You're going to want to maximize how much you're getting paid out, because, that's obviously your goal. Knowing this value is also going to give you added confidence when you go to ask for whatever number it is that you want. If you know that on average, people in my position are getting paid X amount and I'm getting paid X minus 5,000, it's going to be way easier to ask for that extra 5,000, because you know other people are getting paid that. It's nothing new. The next thing to keep in mind when you're approaching the negotiation is having a great understanding of your individual value and what you contributed throughout the period before the last raise, or throughout your entire career at the company. A great way to do this is to keep a journal. Keep a work journal whenever you're working. Make sure that you're tracking down any individual contributions. Make sure you're tracking down any individual wins, anything that you notice that you've changed. And also, if you can quantify these things, actually figuring out, okay, that time that I increased efficiency by 10%, this was actually worth this much in dollars to the company. When you know these figures, it makes that conversation way easier. A, for your manager, because your manager is going to have to go sell this idea to somebody else. And B, for yourself, because you're going to feel way more confident when you're asking for a particular number, because you know you've done the work that deserves it. Number 3, I touched on this idea a little bit before in the previous step. Keep in mind that your manager is going to have to sell this idea to other people. The money isn't necessarily coming from them specifically. So it's really important that other people know who you are. One way you can do this is through volunteering in the company. If there's, say, a social club, or there is a organized sports team, or you guys volunteer together sometimes in the weekend or something, it's important that you participate in these events, because when it comes to the manager then selling the idea of your raise to somebody else, they'll be like, oh, I know Mac. He scored a 6-3 to win the game last time we played. Or, I know Mac. He's a great volunteer. He's always helping me out. He's always helping us out whenever we're doing a food run or something like that. I don't know what you guys do for volunteer work, but the idea here is that if it comes between you and somebody else getting a raise in the company, it's most likely going to the person who's more well-known. It's a popularity contest. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Your individual achievements will get you far, don't get me wrong. Like being a superstar at your job is going to be awesome, but being known is just as valuable, if not more valuable. Now, along the same vein is another tip and trick, which is to get to know people who are above you in the food chain. One great way to do this is to use your lunch times more efficiently when you're not working from home. Or even if you are working from home, just make sure that you're booking meetings with other people in the company, asking questions of other people in the company, getting to know the people who are in the executive roles, get to know the people who are in other departments. The more people you know and the more people that know you, the easier it's going to be for whoever is making your case for you to get a raise, to get everybody on board, because they all understand the contribution that you bring to the table. They'll know, oh man, Mac is super curious all the time. He's always trying to improve. He's always trying to help other people out. He thinks beyond the scope of just his individual job requirements, and he always wants to help the entire team out. And that's what you want people to be saying about you. You want to be known for being that person who is always ready to help people out, because those people are valuable. And the next tip is timing. So you're going to want to know when key events in the company are happening. Usually the best time to do a raise request is right after a performance review. This is because you guys have actually just been talking about the direct value that you brought, the improvement that you've seen throughout the year that you were working, or however the periods are between your performance reviews. Timing is really key, because even if you're super valuable to your company, if you ask for a raise at the wrong time when the company doesn't have the resources to cover that raise, then the answer is just going to be no, and it's going to be an easy no for them because, well, they just can't do it. But if you ask at the right time and you've got all of the other tips and tricks that we've just talked about on lock already, then it's going to be an easy conversation for the manager to have with whoever they've got to convince to get the extra funds to give you your raise. And last but not least, don't be nervous. This is your value that you're going to go negotiate. Don't feel as if you're putting somebody in a tough spot or anything like that. If anything, they're putting you in a tough spot when they're asking you to live on something that you're not comfortable with. There's always another step that you can take in your career, sideways, forwards, and that's the opportunity cost that isn't inherent whenever you decide that, nah, you know what, I'm just not gonna approach this raise situation, or no, I'm not gonna chase that possible opportunity. You're selling yourself short, and you're not doing anybody any favors when you do that, because what's gonna happen is you're just gonna build resentment over time for the company that you work for, and eventually you're just gonna wanna leave, and you don't wanna have to leave on bad terms. You don't wanna have to let it get to that stage just because you didn't have the confidence to approach your manager and ask them for what you want. So for 2021, I challenge everybody who is watching this video, who is currently employed, has a salary or anything like that, to apply these tips and tricks. Find out how much you're worth, get your name out there, volunteer, show them what you're made of, show them who you are, pick your timing perfectly or as perfectly as you can, and just go for it. Just ask them for this raise. You know you deserve it. I know you deserve it. Just go out there and get it. Anyways, guys, plus Evan, I hope that this video was useful to you guys. I hope those tips and tricks get you what you need, what you want. I'm a big advocate for people maximizing their own value. And so if this video is any help in helping you do that, then my job here is done. Thanks guys for tuning in to another video. Looking forward to the next one. Not sure what that topic is going to be yet, but hopefully I get some more questions and comments from you guys, and we'll make another video just like this one. Thank you guys for paying attention, and we'll see you in the next one.